Sure.
Uh-huh. I can do it. I'm an adult woman. I can put something onto a Google Drive.
But you might need a man to help you.
Oh my God, for fuck's sake.
But
I'm gonna hit you. Gonna smack you right in the face.
you can't though. You know why?
Because you're away from me.
No, because it's that time.
Oh, is
Oh,
it? Is it? Tin hat.
time.
Tin hat time.
In hat
Tin
time.
hat time.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, I am so stinking excited, you guys. Don't know what that voice was, but ooh, buddy, do we have a magnificent treat in store for you this week, dear listeners? We're going to touch on a topic, or like it's not touch on it this time. It's going to be our main course, if you will, of one of our favorite subjects of all time.
Yay!
This time we are going to cover the phenomenon of the Phoenix Lights.
Yay!
Boo-doo-doo.
We need a
Um,
song for like spooky music, or like.
yeah, when we have a budget,
Mhm.
we'll
Yeah,
have we'll have somebody who puts appropriately spooky music in the background of these things. But
I kind of want it to be like the X Files sound, like the
I
banana.
don't know how.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yep.
Do 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 do.
Perfect. But so yeah, you guys, Phoenix. You what?
It said low budget effects.
Low budget effects. They all come out of our faces because we ain't got no money. No
Yeah.
money for a soundboard. Anyway, so the
Well,
Phoenix Lights were also caught on some pretty low budget shit for the time.
yeah.
It's one of the most widely, or like the number of witnesses in it are astronomical. Like thousands, tens of thousands of people witnessed this phenomenon. In 1997, March 13th, um, thousands of people reported amber orbs in the sky over Phoenix. So what they said was that they were orbs. They were like perfectly round. They were kind of like an amberish orangey kind of a color in a triangle formation. There were varying reports of 7 lights, 5 lights, 9 lights. Sometimes it was like 5 lights with 2 lights trailing, that sort of a thing. So they were, but they're all uniformly spaced apart, moving at the same time and at the same pace. They were going much too slowly to be like any sort of like aircraft that we have today. Any aircraft going that slowly would just fall out of the sky. Speed is required to keep our aircraft up. Um, and yeah, so the lights, the weird thing about the lights was that the light wasn't spilling out or spilling over. Like you can see the light from my, like in this lovely audio. Um,
You can see the
you can
light.
see the light like shining on me from the window over here. Like the lights that appeared in the sky over Phoenix didn't spill out. They didn't spill down. There was nothing illuminated on the ground below them. Like, like ground, like not grounding, like landing lights on a
Yeah,
plane.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, or like
Yeah.
even like the blinking, I think,
Yeah. They didn't blink.
yeah, it was just like straight up like chilling, like a star almost.
Yeah.
Just
But moving very slowly and at the same pace and remaining the same distance apart. So like people's first thought was, because they're near an airport, they're near Luke Air Force Base, they're in Phoenix. It's a pretty populated city and in like the belt of population in Arizona down the what was it, 17? Um
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, down I-17. So on this night of March 13th, from a 911 dispatcher reported receiving a massive amount of calls as early as 5:30 p.m. all the way until 2 a.m. as the lights traveled down the I-17 as if headed south to Mexico. Like they weren't just reported in Phoenix, they were reported like north of Phoenix, in Phoenix, then south of Phoenix. They were reported in Nevada and they were reported in Mexico.
Yeah. So they were on the
And
run to get across the border.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. 100% they had robbed a bank somewhere and were like, we got to get to Mexico right now. Because if I was going to ever go on the run, I would absolutely run south. I would not run north.
I would run south in my spacecraft. So that would be
Absolutely.
a
If I
lot
had a
of fun.
spacecraft, I'd be like, this place looks like the lame desert. Let's go find the beaches.
Mhm. Yeah.
But they didn't go to the beachy part. They just kept going into the desert. Aliens seem really into the desert.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day where it was like they like the barren places, it seems like.
Mhm.
So either people like really get lonely and see weird shit, from being in such
Possibility.
but also when there's video evidence, that's like, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, there's a shit ton of video evidence. Pulling out my notes.
yes.
Yes. So Dr. Lynn Kaiti, or I'm so sorry, Dr. Lynn Kitai.
You looked it up? I mean,
I wrote it out phonetically next to the word and then mispronounced it anyway. Yeah. She was a witness to multiple events, one in 1995, in January 97, and also the infamous March 13th event. And then again, an event in 2001, not long after 9/11. And each time she reported seeing the first time it was three orbs in a triangle formation. That was, she said, just in front of South Mountain, which would have been above the airspace for the airport.
Mhm.
She calls up Sky Harbor Air. No, she called the police first, and she was like, "Hey, y'all." She's not Southern, and she didn't talk like that. She was basically like, "Hey, so saw some lights in the sky. Thought it was weird. What's going on?" They're like, "I don't know." Eh. And then the person was like, "I don't know, but Luke Air Force Base is just out in that area. Maybe they were up to some stuff." So Dr. Kitai calls the Air Force Base, and she said she got a female lieutenant on the phone, and she was like very respectful to her and was like, "Hello, I just wanted to, call in as a citizen and say I saw these three golden orbs just in front of, the South Mountain, and I was just curious." She was like, "We didn't have anything out there."
Oh,
Yeah. Nothing came in, nothing went out. It's not coming from us. Meh. Call the airport. It's right by the airport. Meh. Wasn't us. Meh. And so she's like, "Cool." And at this point, she said she was like on a mission. This was in the documentary I watched, the Phoenix Lights Beyond Top Secret, which is available for streaming on Amazon and was produced by UFO TV, which their tagline is the Disclosure Movie Network. It's excellent. It's some real choice shit. But I went into it expecting it to be a big pile of crazy, and it was a very compelling documentary. Well made, especially for coming out of the UFO TV network.
that's the same production company that did the UFO or the alien presence documentary for the JFK thing last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Same.
that's funny. I feel like I just need to like look up all their stuff now and like just
I'm probably going to give them money to have access to all of their shit. I have become impossible to be around with doing this research.
stuff.
Yeah. I was at a lovely like dessert coffee like date with Nick and his mom and her boyfriend because it was her birthday, and we went to the Cheesecake Factory like cute people do. And we're just sitting there casually chatting, and I'm like, "You guys ever heard of the lights over Phoenix? Do you believe UFOs? Do you want me to be in your family?" Like, that our government is run by lizard people who live under the Denver airport. I mean, everybody knows this. Of course you know it. You're smart. And they're just looking at me like, "She ate a lot of sugar today?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all of this notebook is making me into a crazy person, and I kind of love it. I'm impossible to talk to now, but it's fun. I'm having fun.
Are you impossible to talk to, or are you more interesting to talk to? Because conspiracy theories are so much fun. I feel like so underrated.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to have this knowledge twerking around in my brain. I just feel it like it's twerking, like just like alien booties, like bouncing, like, tell people about us. Tell random people who clearly don't want to know. Tell your waitress.
God, we need to like leave stickers or something places. I feel like stickers would be like just stickers and like like I don't know, growing up like seeing a sticker like on a sign, like a road sign or whatever, like
Oh,
while
yeah,
you're walking
yeah,
down
yeah,
the
yeah.
road. You're like, "Oh my God, I've never heard of that band." And then you would like actually look it up.
Totally. It's how I found some fun, weird music.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dr. Lankita made that excellent documentary, which they show every year in Phoenix. But the whole beginning of it is just like, we have to let the children know. The children must know the truth. We must tell the children. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't be near children.
Why do you sound like old Greg?
Because one of the dudes was basically old Greg. I mean, he worked for NASA, I think, or something, but the way he was like, we must tell the children. The children should know so they can make up their own minds without it being influenced to the positive or negative. We must inform the children.
It
Like,
moved to like more transatlantic now. I like
I
it.
don't
It feels old timey. It feels like, I don't know, like JFK delivering a speech.
do. Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't think so. Well, the children. But yeah, it worried me how much they wanted to like get the children into the alien conspiracies. But also they're like, the children need to know the truth. They should know the truth. It's like, that's okay. But you're not gonna get to book anything at a school with that energy.
Yeah,
You're gonna
probably not. So,
it's like, is there a compound? Where are you taking these kids? To the truth. But other than that, it was a
uh, this seems like the start of like a lot of sci-fi movies.
it
Like,
is. It
yeah.
is. And it felt like it. And somebody like a very nice, pretty, respectable blonde lady is sitting there. So, as a white person, I felt soothed. And that's who like they're trying to get old. Like it's all old white people who aren't into.
Like Tilda Swinton in like all white, like with her hair slicked back. I feel like anything Tilda
No,
Swinton is like
I'm not soothed by Tilda Swinton's presence.
no, but I feel like she and like a lot of other people like that's like the sort of figure where it's like she's not soothing at all, but like she's supposed to be, you know? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I just meant that more that this lady looked like your mom, and I was just like, I believe you.
I wouldn't.
No, it just she seemed nice, and she was just like, yeah, I saw this stuff. She's very credible, and she, like I was saying, like called all over everywhere, and they were just like, we don't fucking know. Oh, before I got off on this wild tangent, yeah. So in this documentary, she's talking about how she's calling all these people left, right, and forever,
Yeah.
and she finally gets on the phone. She gets a hold of Sky Harbor Airport, which is in Phoenix,
Mhm.
just in front of South Mountain. So it would have been just under, like, on the land beneath where the three amber orbs were that she saw. And this was in 95. So this is 2 years before the infamous Phoenix Lights incident. My Southern came out real hard right there for a second. Um, so the airport guy was just like, that's funny. We don't, yeah, no, we saw the light, but we don't have anything on radar. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be like concerning? Like, isn't that their whole job is to like kind of watch about like what's going on in
So
this?
hence her concern.
Yeah. Like, oh,
So she was able to that night in 95 snap a picture, and then after that she got herself a camera. And when she saw them again in January of 1997, she was able to take an 18-second video before her camera died. And like, as somebody who was playing with, isn't that just how it goes?
like
But as
that's
somebody who had a video camera, like the camcorders of 1997, like that's what they did.
yeah,
They instantly died.
yeah.
You turned it on. There's so many videos of like happy dead. And then it like crackles, and then it's like 4 random episodes of Seinfeld.
Yeah, but I feel like it's always like with conspiracy theory stuff, like Sasquatch or whatever. It's like, oh, You
So
know,
typical ghost adventures, ghost hunting stuff. The camera died just as it appeared.
yeah,
Fucking
yeah, that's the downside with Ghost Adventures is that happens now. Like currently, all their cameras, oh, it died, or it was just off camera. Like, isn't your
yeah, and
budget
it's
big
like
enough?
that's fucking convenient, Zach.
Yeah, Zach. Fucking Zach.
Fucking Zach. You're giving Zach's a bad name. Do
Yeah,
Zach's have a good name?
no.
I I know a couple sweet pea Zachs.
Yeah, I know some all right ones.
Yeah, I know a couple who are like pretty darling. I like. But also most Zachs are of the Baggins variety.
Yeah. Maybe it's the way he spells it, you know?
Yeah, that actually that does it. That does it a lot. But thank God he's not attached to this in any way, shape, or form. Yay!
That was like
Um,
a nice Google search change. No Zach Baggins related things.
I know it's very nice, but there is somebody of great significance attached to this one.
Oh,
So there was a citizen pilot who was traveling from LA to Arizona into Phoenix, and as he was bringing his son in, and as they were coming in, his son goes, Dad, do you see those lights? What are those lights? And this is March 13th, 1997. And his dad goes, I don't know. Let me call it in. And he calls it in. The guy's like, same thing that they said to Dr. Kitai, which was,
yeah,
yeah, we saw them, but they're not on the radar, so you're fine,
yeah.
probably. Cool. That's assuring. And
Concern.
then this person, he lands, drops his son off, flies back home, forgets entirely about it.
And so does his son.
And so did his son. But you know what it was, dude? You know what it was? It's fucking Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell reported seeing the Phoenix lights. And if we can't trust Kurt Russell,
What else do we have?
who do we have to believe in anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Movie,
Kurt Russell,
movie stars are like the most credible sources.
absolutely.
Movie stars with basically any judgments or decision
Hmm.
making. Um, yeah, only movie stars.
Actors are the most trustworthy people. They are not trained liars.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is the smile of a person who's a trained liar. Um, I did the acting thing. I don't know. Okay. So, yeah. Not just Kurt Russell, but like thousands of other people called in. The 911 dispatcher in this documentary was just like the cutest little lady. And boy, did I want to be her friend. Go have some tea at her place. She said that people weren't afraid. They didn't sound frightened, that they were more in awe. There was a lot of curiosity, and there was a lot of like, hey, this is weird. Like, what is this? Like, this is weird. But it wasn't just like your average Joe citizens, even though there were plenty of them. There were commercial pilots who called in saying like, hey man, I've spent my time in the sky. This is fucking weird. They're like aviators of all stripes, like from military, former military, police, that sort of stuff. And like the cops set helicopters up. There was a report from, oh, it's so fun in the documentary. There's this like Air Force dude sitting there and his face is all blurred out and they have like a little robot kind of thing going under his voice, which is really fun for me. And he's like, I know what I saw.
To protect his identity.
To protect his identity. Yeah.
Oh, that's so bizarre though. Like I don't even know why you would need to. Um,
Well, okay, so
how many people saw it and talked about it?
yes, but one of the women, one of the main people who is involved in this case is a woman named Frances Barwood. I can't find it in the quick scan. She was a city councilwoman in Phoenix, and she brought it up one day at city council, like as she was on her way walking into chambers. Some reporter stopped her and said, "Councilwoman, what are you going to like? are we ever going to get answers about what happened? And this was like in May. So they're like, what happened a couple of months ago on March 13th? And she's just like, I'll ask, I guess. I don't know. So she, at the urging of her constituents and the press, brought up in chambers like, are we going to talk about the fucking lights that everybody and their mother and Kurt Russell all saw on March 13th? Because they were real. And what happened was she was crucified for it. She was made to look like an absolute fool in the press. They did all sorts of like cartoons, like a picture of her with like a light switch pointed down and like holding a tin hat. And it said things like the lights are on in nobody's home, or like crazies report here, kind of like, they were really very vicious to her, like a lot of the officials. And the governor Fife Simerson, his first name was Fife, which I thought was dope. Like, oh, that's adorable, Fife. But he also did a pretty cuck move where he said, like, we're going to talk about what happened. And then bring out the offending party. And he brought out, one of his staff members in an alien costume. And the thing is, like, the treatment of Councilwoman Francis, because I can't remember her last name, so we're just going to call her Councilwoman Fran. So when poor Miss Fran was being treated so terribly in the press, and then the governor did all this shit, a lot of people were like, kind of fuck you guys, and started filing more reports, started going to each other, started saying the classic things that UFO people say, which is stuff like, we can't trust our government with this. They're just aiming for a colossal cover-up. They don't want the truth to know. We know the truth. I know what I saw. Yeah. But yeah, so Dr. Lynn Ketai made that documentary. She also wrote a book. She wrote a book before she created the documentary with the same title, The Phoenix Lights Beyond Top Secret, which I'm going to totally get because I am now involved. Yeah. But yeah, this is one of the most documented UFO sightings. It doesn't make any sense for it to be military, like obviously the military has access to technology and shit that we don't know about. Like, for sure they had the internet before we did, and like touchscreen kind of blah 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 blah. They didn't give it to the Coast Guard, but they had it somewhere. And this is not like, if they're testing that shit, they're not gonna parade it through fucking Phoenix and right down the I-17 for Joe Bob, Billy Bob, and his mama to all see and call in about. Not saying that, people out there are yokels who wouldn't, because it was like a lot, like, yeah, there were local yokels calling in, but there were also like teachers and lawyers and like doctors, scientists, people who were like, I know some stuff about some stuff. This is fucking weird. Oh, sorry, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, it seemed like it was a lot of like genuinely reputable people, like people who had long-standing careers, and it wasn't just everyday schmo Joe. Like, there was still a lot of those, like, but what I read is that, I mean, thousands of people saw this. Like, this isn't just like, oh, it's, way out in nowhere. I mean, it's directly over the city. I mean, like, everyone could fucking see it. So, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, like they were saying, everyone. So like, I have an excellent quote, which is one of my favorite quotes that I've ever read from a UFO witness.
Yes.
Bill Greiner, a cement truck driver in the Phoenix area at the time, reported the second set of lights, which, like, they broke it down into like multiple sets or like sightings, but it's, as far as I can tell, the same lights just kind of moving.
Yeah.
I'll never be the same. Before this, if anybody told me they saw a UFO, I'd have said, yeah, and I believe in the tooth fairy. Now I got a whole new view. I may just be a dumb truck driver, but I seen something out there that don't belong there. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that feels, compelling. Compelling is what I would say this one is. Like, I watched a shit ton of the YouTube videos, which will melt your brain out of your ears, and like I've said, make you an impossible person to have a regular conversation with. But
Yeah, I got sucked into it. I didn't think I would dive that deep this week into it, and yet 2 a.m. rolled around real quick. So
yeah, it does though. I remember like just watching the oh yeah, my sources, sorry for this, are the 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 Lynn Kitai documentary that I brought up a couple times, The Phoenix Lights Beyond Top Secret, an episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural about the Phoenix Lights, because I love the fuck out of that show. And of course, our good old friend Wikipedia. And then just countless YouTube.
yeah, like that BBC interview with Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, and the BBC interview with Kurt Russell and Chris Pratt for some the Marvel one that they're in together that's escaping me.
Guardians of the
Guardians
Galaxy
of the Galaxy,
2. Yeah.
the second one.
The second one?
The second one.
The second one.
Uh-huh. That one. The one that's right there.
Yeah, that second one.
Yeah. God, I'm a child. Ah.
No idea. Whatever. Keep going.
The people who are listening to this on Spotify and not with a visual medium, God, I hope my dad just switched to Spotify. Oh well. He knows. Okay, so the thing about it, like, it didn't act like a plane, it didn't act like anything, and it is today largely considered one of the, like, Occam's razor, which is the, whatever the simplest answer is, it's usually that.
Yeah.
In this case, Occam's razor is it's fucking it's aliens, it's UFOs, man. That's the simplest answer. That's the most obvious answer.
It's definitely aliens.
And it's interesting to me that this happened. Do you remember what else was happening in spring of 1997? How old were you?
I was 5, dude.
Okay, so I was 9.
But I mean, is that Clinton? Is that Clinton shit?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking
like
about
that.
why thousands of people were able to report this is because all of us were outside with our telescopes looking up for a glimpse of the Hale-Bopp comet.
Oh, yeah, didn't know that.
Yeah, that was coming close. And it's interesting to me that the aliens chose that time to start sort of to really like do that big display. Like they had been spotted by Dr. Kitai a few times before. And I'm sure others who haven't come forward. But yeah, and then after that incident, they were lights exactly like the exact same phenomena happened in Belgium, it happened in Brazil, it happened in Mexico, it happened all over the globe.
Yeah.
It happened in Illinois. It happened, oh my God, I can't stop burping. This is what I get for drinking beer while I'm podcasting and then get myself all hyped up. There were like hundreds of sightings around the globe in like 22 other countries of very similar lights after this. And it's very compelling to me. And I feel like if something was going to come and visit, that maybe it would be like, oh, let's watch how this primitive culture reacts to seeing a comet. That'll be fun to watch.
Do you ever just feel like though, like all of Earth is just like basically the Truman Show for the aliens? Like, you know how like, we'll observe like baboons in Zambia and like be like, oh wow, it's so weird. Their behavior is like this, and wow, that's interesting. And then sometimes it's sad, and sometimes it's heartwarming, and sometimes you're like, what the fuck? And that's what.
Oh yeah, no, I love Jane Goodall, and she just like went and lived with the bonobos and chimpanzees.
Yeah, yeah.
was just like, they're people, you fuck. Stop pulling down their forests.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that this is one of those cases where like it's definitively aliens. Like you're not gonna convince me otherwise. You're just not going to.
The world is not that organized to like have some like there isn't like a global organization that I feel like is with it enough to.
No, they're all too busy, sucking each other's dicks and drinking the blood of children to organize something like this for sure. Or just literally being reptiles under the ground. They don't have the capacity to pull this off.
Yeah, I feel like that, and also like I feel like that same way about like people who think the pandemic was fake or like the virus is fake, where it's like, oh, the World Organization planned this? Like, no,
No,
no. This should
no. Also, those people are the reason why I haven't left the goddamn house in a year. Because they wouldn't just shut up and wear their It's fine.
I digress, right?
It's
But
fine. I've got my double jabs in, and I'm good now. I'm gonna keep one. I'm fine. No. So, usually, we like to end or like our. Do you have anything else you want to add to the Phoenix Lights?
no, honestly, the Kurt Russell shit though blew my mind. Like that
Right.
was one of those things that like, I like went on Reddit and like sort of read about it and I was like, "Oh, all this stuff's interesting." And then I was like, "Oh, did you know Kurt Russell saw them?" And I was like, "Bullshit." Like,
And then Kurt Russell's just like, yeah, I saw him, and then I got home a couple of years later, and my wife Goldie just casually just calling the Queen Goldie Hawn, just casually, yeah, Goldie's just chilling on the couch, watching TV about some show about aliens, and I hear what happened, and they're like, yeah, and then a citizen above, and he was like, holy God, that was me. He went and pulled up his
what?
logbooks. Yeah, I reported it. Yeah, that was me.
It's weird. It's weird. Like I think what trips me out is that he forgot, Like he immediately like he saw them and then immediately forgot.
Which is so funny because some of the people in that documentary were just like so deeply changed and affected by it that they never would have forgotten it. And then Kurt Russell was just like, breaker, breaker, there's lights. And they're like, it's fine, you can land, Kurt. And he's like, cool, pushing that out of my brain forever.
I like that voice.
Thank you. Uh,
Uh,
Thank you.
but
So yeah, usually we end with speculation where we finally get to aliens, but aliens has been the whole subject this time. So I have a couple of questions for us.
okay,
Why do you think they came?
to watch us like the Truman Show.
Yeah,
So that's I don't know. That's how I feel. Like the other thing. Oh man, I could go real deep on a lot of stuff, but like
do
uh,
it, give it to me, put it in my face.
well, like you see like a common trend of like UFOs being spotted specifically above like nuclear power plants and
Mhm.
things. And like, I don't know.
I'm still here. I just have to dip out of sight. I dropped my shit.
Do you ever think though that like maybe either they're trying to warn us or watch us, and it's all totally dependent on, are these like different creatures, like are there more than one type of alien, like are they totally independent, do they have like together an agenda, or is it like basically just like a bunch of randos, that just happen to come visit, for
Yeah, like they got on a detour or what?
for Earth Day. Like uh,
They call it Terra because that's the name of our planet. Also, that's only the name of our planet to us. They could call it whatever the fuck they want.
yeah,
Um, yeah. I have to
so
remember that. Stop like just having like an Earth-centric view, because like there's like other identities out there.
yes, like this is like planet like 0.46759 or something.
Yeah, or whatever they call it in like Lilo and Stitch and shit. I don't remember. So that's good for why you thought they came. I think that they came to see, just to see what was going on down here. To
Yeah.
see, I'm gonna sound like a crazy person.
I love it. Do it. Sound like a crazy bitch.
I think they came to see if we were ready. Like if Earth was there yet, wherever there is like, okay, I'm about to get real woo with it. Because it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. Aquarius, which is supposed to be in like an age of being more open-minded, more enlightened.
Yeah.
Aquarians are fucking weirdos who are just like, did you know the aliens are here? And it's like, cool, smoke less pot. I don't
Yeah.
know what to tell you. But also the aliens are here and I will not stop smoking weed. I'm not going to because it helps me commune with the aliens. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius mindset. Um, But I think that they were here to see, like, how far have they gotten? Are they still trying to blow each other up? Like, oh, we can't pop in yet. Okay. Like, remember when we were there? Glib Glorb, like he's like, oh, I sure do, Snorlax. Like that shit sucked. Like, bop, 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 bop. I probably just named Pokemon. I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah, I think they were just peeking in. And I think that the people who were ready to see it were the ones who saw it.
Yeah.
Because in that documentary, overwhelming people described it as beautiful. Like it wasn't horrifying, it wasn't frightening, it wasn't something that filled them with dread. It was something that filled people with excitement, with hope, with curiosity. And I think those are really good feelings to get and to have. And I think that if our whole global community had a little bit more excitement, hope, and just curiosity about each other and about the world, and just, instead of like a closed off, like, you're different kind of a mindset, then
Yeah, instead of reacting with
we could
fear.
be able to actually come down and say, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my second question. What would you do if you saw the lights? Like, what do you think your reaction would be?
How close are they? Like, what's the
Okay, so I want you to picture yourself the age that you are now, probably that same haircut. It's like they didn't give you the Rachel, but you almost wanted it. And it's 1997. You're in Phoenix, Arizona. Maybe you just got some crystals in Tempe on your way over. Who's to say? And you're sitting outside on the patio with your friends. You're smoking cigarettes because it's 97 and it's still cool. You're drinking a Bud Light or whatever because it has less calories. And you look up into the sky and you see the lights. Go.
I would probably just be like, what the fuck is that? Like, what is it? Like, and just stare for a really long time. So, I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like it would just be like, like today, right? It would be like, oh, fucking pull out my phone, and see if I could get anything with it. But like, I feel like it would just be like, whoa, what is that? Like, what other reaction do you have? Like, you're totally like powerless and just have to accept whatever the situation is, And like, I don't know, like, is it a comet? Is it a plane? It's probably the government. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the government's always the first thing.
what would you do?
I'd probably shit in my pants.
But would you shit in your pants if you thought it was like a comet or something? Like,
No, but the description of it, like of it being like so low and like gigantic and like it was obviously like this massive thing. Like I think that I would be freaked, but I would also be very curious. Because this leads nicely into my next question of, you ever seen something weird in the sky?
I have not.
Oh,
Not.
dang, I thought you had a good story.
I've
I mean,
seen a shuttle take off. I've seen like shooting stars, but like, I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I can think of one where I'm not sure what I saw.
Ooh, pray tell.
And I was hoping, and I don't think I've actually told you this story yet.
No? Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
So, no, so this is going to be a podcast.
Hmm.
I wanted to say expose, but I don't think that's correct. First exposure.
Exclusive.
Exclusive! That was the exact word I was looking for. Thanks for being in my brain.
Welcome. Those are the low budget effects. So that's what that was.
Podcast exclusive.
Exclusive. So
Um,
you're welcome, listeners.
I love you. Um, So I was with Nikki, my darling boyfriend Nick. We were camping. We went up. We're in Idaho, so we were up on the Lower Salmon. We were in Lower Salmon, and or no, Lower Stanley.
Oh,
We
I
didn't
said
go.
that. No.
I don't know why I said that. Oh yeah, so we're in Lower Stanley, and we had gone down this road, like way, way, way down this dirt road, like past like the official couple of campsites that were there, and they were kind of getting full, so we went a little bit further in, and then we were just on land, like just public lands kind
Yeah.
of thing. Found us a cute little spot out by the river. Set up camp. We are gonna camp out for like 3 nights. Had our dog with us, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And it was a really nice, really warm night. So we took the cover thing off of the tent so
Mhm.
we could just sleep with the stars, kind
Yeah.
of a thing. It's always nice.
Summertime.
Oh yeah, it was summertime. It was super hot out, but like, whatever, we were sleeping. And like we had stayed up pretty late, drinking a bottle of wine by the fireplace, blah 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 blah. You know how it go.
Eh.
Uh Stop that. You're a child, Megan. Get your mind out of the gutter.
It
We
all
were okay.
out there.
Weren't quite asleep yet, and like I had like started to drift off. Like I was just about to sleep when like Nick like grabbed my arm. He was like, "Hannah, do you see that?" And like I'd never heard him like sound like that urgent like that before. He's like, "Do you see this? Do you see this?" And I looked up, and there was this light, so you could see like the sawtooths, and
Yeah.
it was above it, but it was closer than the mountains.
Oh, oh, I got goosebumps. Oh, I feel.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so it was close-ish to us, and like if I put my hand up, it would have been about the size of like my thumb knuckle kind of a thing. But like I could tell that it was like it's hard to describe. Like it was close, but like the light on it was very, very bright,
Yeah.
very bright, and but like it didn't. It was just like the Phoenix Lights thing, man, where like it didn't spill out. It wasn't amber. It was a very, very white light. And it just like hung up there and it blinked. It was like kind of like throbbing off and on,
Hmm.
like and like a pattern. And we watched it for a second, then it turned really bright, and then it was just gone.
Oh.
Yeah. And like we like laid awake for like a while after that, just kind of like staring like, ooh, what was that? Hang on, don't you do it, Gambit. Come here. I spooked my dog telling that story. Come here, puppy. Sit down.
Uh,
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, but that's
oh.
one time that I'm pretty sure I saw UFO.
Wow.
Um,
That's
yeah,
cool. That's so cool, dude. Like, was it like, I mean, like, not like a spotlight or something, like in the distance or anything? Or like,
no,
like a flashlight moving through the trees?
no, because it was in the sky,
Oh, so it was like you're laying down like directly above you.
kind of like above. Like I would say, from the horizon, it was probably 20 degrees up, and then like in.
Yep, I know degrees.
Okay, well, did your mother never hand you a protractor while you were in elementary school in your living room?
I was just about to say I was homeschooled. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
you were educated in your living room. You don't know what a protractor is. Yeah, so it was an acute angle. Does that mean anything to you?
no cute angles. Also, fuck you, I do know what a protractor is.
Did you just look it up real quick?
No. No, I really do. No.
Megan, no. No, I'm gonna send you an elementary math school kit because you have a child now. You need to know these things.
Hey,
Um,
I retook math in college.
oh, we're getting a cameo.
Oh, Gambit.
Oh yeah, all the video watchers are gonna get a nice cameo of the dog. But yeah, so that was and Gambit was there too. Gambit got to witness the weird light in the sky.
Did he get freaked out or anything or no?
No, he sleeps like a fucking log because he's a porch dog.
Like a rock.
Yep. Exactly like a rock.
Oh, like a rock.
No.
I mean, we're talking about the 90s, right? Like 1997. Like that's the height of that commercial.
Oh my god, I know this was it Chevy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chevy, like a rock. Dan always tries to tell me that it was Ford, and I was like, no, dude, it was
No, it
clearly.
was Chevy. It was Chevy like a rock. Though that could be one of the mandala effects.
I can see like literally the ad of like somebody driving up onto the construction site,
Oh
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a rock. Um, but yeah, so that's I think that's that on well, it's not that. Okay, pup,
Have any
get
more?
out of
Is that?
it. That dog, he's so sweet, but like personal space, buddy. Um, I have to give it to him. He did a really good job. He just laid in the corner the whole time while we were recording, and he just went right back to the corner. He's a very lazy puppy. I love
Yeah, lazy
him.
dogs are good dogs.
He's a good dog.
I like
He's a
lazy
good
dogs.
dog. But yeah, the Phoenix Lights, it's to me like that's the one that I bring up when people are hardcore skeptics. They're like, no, weather balloons. Or I'm like, "D- don't you fucking dare come at me with flares in this one. Don't you fucking dare. They don't move in the same direction at the same time. Like, I'm sorry, but flares have never moved in the wind.
That light expansion thing too, right?
I've seen flares.
Yeah. Have you?
Know what I saw.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. Um,
I feel
yeah,
like
that's
the one gal that got like totally, I don't know, basically like exiled
ripped.
in a lot of way. Like bullied, just had like so many fucking bullies. Like that definitely damages you too. Like
Mhm.
watching the Cecil Hotel, like and like the end like of that documentary and stuff where the one guy talks about being bullied by all
Oh,
the
yeah.
like man, like for that lady to get bullied so relentlessly and like him too, like there's a lot of like commiseration of like people who basically get fucked over by the public eye, you know?
Yeah.
Like
The poor metalhead guy
yeah,
who just
yeah,
wanted to be his own weird self, you
yeah.
know? Like, yeah.
Or like
Metal
the Monica Lewinsky interview with John Oliver. Did you ever see that?
who?
Monica Lipinski.
Lewinsky.
Lewinsky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I said Lipinski. What the fuck is it?
Lewinsky.
Okay, okay. But no, like she did an interview and like talked about basically how hard her life was because of it and like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which
Just
sucks 'cause she was a victim.
yeah. Yeah, she totally was. Like I mean, she still made conscious decisions, but like, you know, the thing is at the end of the day, right? Like she was the vulnerable person
Horrible one. Yeah.
right, in that situation and like for her to get torn apart the way she did was totally unfair. I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, anyone that wants to come out and be like, "Oh, I saw aliens" or whatever, like I don't think they deserve to get like torn apart. Like, I don't know.
No, but I think that that was part of the conspiracy to undermine anybody who, like, to try to make people not seem legitimate because the government doesn't have the answers and you shouldn't trust your government. And they're going to go to cover up immediately, like, right off the bat, try to cover everything up.
Yeah.
But I mean, disclosure is happening. It's happening left, right, and center. Like this past year, there was information released about aliens, and everyone was just like, cool, do they have COVID? I don't give a fuck right now.
Yeah,
But
and those were like I don't think they were no, I think some of it was like daytime stuff, maybe. No, it was night vision, never mind.
I had to take a deep breath and like just focus on the Phoenix Lights, or I was like, or we're just gonna derail immediately. We're not gonna get this subject done.
But it's definitely aliens. Aliens are real.
No, but they're out there.
They're out there. The
They
reptile
want
people that run the government.
no, dude, the people who run the government are the fucking lizard people. Why won't you get this through your head?
Well, that's why I said the reptile people, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Same difference. Reptile
Same
people, lizard people.
lizard people. Same, 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 same.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all. I don't have anything else to add. I won't.
I don't either. Other than to tell you guys that we look forward to your emails at 10hattimepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah,
We would
Evan.
sure love it if you rated, reviewed, and subscribed on Apple Podcast, Anchor, Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah, there's a couple others, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean,
Really,
listen.
wherever you listen.
Yeah, please rate, review, and subscribe. That really does help us so much. Helps so much, and we would appreciate stories. So,
Yeah, DM me. I do the Instagram page. So DM me, slide into my DMs. Yeah. And tell me your weird stories. I want to hear them. I'll believe you, probably. Yeah.
hmm, cool. Next week, are we going to talk about forest people?
I'm not sure yet. I think forest people sounds fun.
Me,
Weird things in the woods. I'm a big fan of things in the woods. Yeah.
yeah, I think that would be
There's a
fun.
lot of weird shit in the woods too.
A lot of weird shit in the world. Ooh, we have.
Ooh, we're gonna cover it all.
We should probably end this one though. Huh?
Yeah, probably. Let's go, now. Bye.
Yay!